Roberto Mancini was the head coach of the Saudi national team for 14 pretty unsuccessful months as coach. And so just big picture here, Saudi Arabia's national team is definitely on the rise globally. Everybody remembers its defeat of Argentina at the World Cup. That was kind of a big milestone in the rise of Saudi football in terms of a national football team, not in terms of the pro league. Obviously, two different things. The team still relies on international coaches, and it's, of course, Saudi Arabia, and it's football crazed. These coaches are some of the best in the world. Before Roberto Mancini, it was Hervé Renard for 4 years, one of the best heads of hair you will ever see on any human being ever. Saudi Arabia is not the only one, I should mention, that uses international coaches, of course. I mean, just to be clear, the United States just hired a new foreign coach, Mauricio Roberto Trocero Pochettino. I definitely said all 4 of those names wrong. He is an Argentinian who took over the job. The Americans suck at soccer. There's no other way to say it. Anyway, back to Saudi. Mancini was hired 14 months ago. Results have also been disappointing. He's 59. He came to Saudi last August, the 2023, 2 weeks after he resigned as Italy's manager. So it's kind of a big get for Saudi at the time. And he led Saudi Arabia to a very disappointing 7 wins in 18 matches during that 14 months. And they are now sitting just outside the automatic qualification spots for the 2026 World Cup, which would be quite devastating for Saudi Arabia after they lost 2-0 to Japan at home. And they also went with a goalless draw with Bahrain earlier this month, where you just flew into. And so they parted ways mutually. And I think Mancini was like, man, I'm not doing a good job. And Saudi was like, yeah, you're really not. We need more than this. The next head coach for Saudi Arabia's national team is none other than the greatest hair of all time, Hervé Renard. We will see what happens, but that would be quite a story with Hervé leaving for 14 months and coming right back and being like, I'm sorry, I just, I want to do this right again. So kind of interesting.
Yeah. Is it Hervé? I think it might be, but I don't know.
There's no accent aigu on the E is what I saw. So maybe I could be wrong. Lucien
I just know
is
Hervé,
wrong.
and I know an Hervé, and that's why I'm assuming. But like, I don't really know.
Let's
I'll
look
ask
at
my son later.
Yeah,
because he's better. He speaks French.
No, it is Hervé. So there's an accent aigu at the top. Okay, on the E. Got it. So it's Hervé. Excusez-moi, everybody.
So like Hervé, honestly. I just remember that speech that he gave in the locker room to the Saudi team that was like circulated all over social media. Basically, he was shouting at them after the first half of the Argentina game in the World Cup in Qatar and in Doha, like just telling them how they weren't performing well, whatever. And then like they went to win the game, which was pretty cool. But then also, I guess that didn't really work in the other games. It didn't do so well in, but it was such a cool, like that win and him being the coach, I think everybody has a little bit of a soft spot for him. So how cool would it be if he came back and like, was like, see, told you I was the best person for you. There was also this thing about his relationship with his mom. And I don't remember, like, I think she was there for the Argentina game. And I think there were photos of her celebrating the win with her son. Like I have a vague memory of this as well. So I think he's kind of a nice guy. I don't know anything about him.
Well, it's funny you say that he's kind of a nice guy because as you were talking, I just like, I know exactly what he looks like. I mean, classic, like handsome French, kind of looks like a French finance guy. And I was like, I don't know. Every time I see a picture of him, he always looks so serious. Like, you're like worried that you're like, as your dad would just be like so serious and never smile. I just Googled him because I wanted to find out about the E that I obviously messed up. And there are very few pictures of him smiling. There are a ton of pictures of him very seriously scowling, obviously at a soccer field or arguing with a ref. So yeah, I mean, it seems like he would be a good fit. I don't know why he left actually. So if anybody's listening or watching this, like let us know, but he may be back, but Roberto Mancini is definitely gone.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I remember stuff about when he left, but I don't think it was anything particular other than it's time for a change. He'd been there for quite some time, right? Like 5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
Said that. But yeah. And so like it was time for a change. But you know, let's see.